Hello and welcome back. We've hit the quarterfinals in Australia, 16 hours ahead of us here. So it is just past noon as I'm filming this, and Arna Sablenka has just absolutely dominated American teenager Isla Jovic on Rod Laver. For Isla Jovic, this was her first time on Rod Laver, I believe. Really impressive from her tournament wise. She did lose 6-3, 6-love today. So not great, but Saturday, John Kane, 6-love, 6-1. Thursday, um, it was, I think, or maybe not Thursday, was it Wednesday where she played last? That's what I would assume because you couldn't expect her to play. Oh, she played, yeah, 6-1, 6-2, and um, I think she did play on Friday then. Yeah, Jasmine Paolini on John Kane 6-2, 7-6. So our first time on the biggest court here. And none of her matches have been close, so I guess why would we expect anything different? It was just she was on the wrong end. She did make the quarterfinals, and she will jump into the top 20. We're very, very close to it. And honestly, the future of American tennis and the future of tennis in general is in really good hands if you watch these tournaments. Another American on the other side of the draw is tearing it up and is about to play his quarterfinal match against world number 3, Alexander Zverev. And actually, I think he has a good chance to win. We'll talk about that. Today, we're going to talk about the rest of my quarterfinal predictions because they are starting. And then we'll have time to talk about the semis. Maybe UCL eventually. I've been asked to talk UCL, but the thing is, there's too many teams in the damn UCL for me to focus on. Like, if we look at this, the list of teams right now that are, because we still have another match week, and like these teams, I can't tell you anything about Royal Union St. Gallen, or I can't tell you about Slavia Prague or Paphos, or I can't tell you about Quarterbag or Copenhagen. Teams like that, I probably mispronounce every single one of these. I can't tell you much about these teams. I can't tell you about Karat or Olympicos, but these teams are Ajax, really, they fell off. But these teams will be out next week when we get, and then we'll have the draw, which we can make a video on, and then we'll have the actual aggregate starting round of 16 playoff, which my Spurs have a chance to avoid with the win over Frankfurt. And it would be a fitting loss for them. Beat the best teams, lose to the worst teams. It's kind of our philosophy. So we'll see what they do. That will be coming up this Wednesday. So after that, we'll talk about the Champions League. But without further ado, let's jump into this in chronological order of when they are being played. Now, we don't know when all the quarterfinals are being played. The ones that are being played actually tomorrow are to be determined. But like, there's going to be one now, and then there's going to be one at like 1 a.m. And this match will probably actually take us there, 4-set or 5-set. Or I could see this going 5 sets. And I will be watching all 5. This is going to be a peak match between Lerner and Alex on Rod Laver in a few minutes. And then we have a few other matches for the night, and then we'll talk about the ones tomorrow. And then I'll talk about some players in this tournament who were fun to watch and did better than I expected. But without further ado, let's talk Alexander Zverev versus Lerner Tien. So Lerner Tien, you may not have heard of him. If you haven't heard of Alexander Zverev, you don't watch tennis, and that is completely understandable. Now, something I didn't notice though is that my top watched tennis pod, or my two. Let me just plug this back in real quick. My two top watched podcasts are both tennis. My pre-predictions got over 200 views, and then my quarterfinal recap of the U.S. Open got 150-ish views. So my top watch podcasts have been about tennis. So clearly, I'm either found the niche or people click to learn more about it. Well, let's just start. So Zverev got here by beating 18 seed Francisco Cerundolo in straight sets 6-2, 6-4, 6-4. But I think the way that Lerner Tien got here is way more impressive. Daniel Medvedev, 11 seed, he took him to last year. Lerner Tien won the first 2 sets against him in the second round of this tournament when he was still lower seeded. He then lost the next 2 sets. In the 5th set, they were in a 10-point tiebreak, and he won it 10-8. So a really impressive match from him last year. I recommend watching the highlights of that. That's one of the better tennis matches of all time. Tsitsipas versus Kyrgios, Wimbledon 22. Obviously, Federer, Djokovic, Wimbledon, any Wawrinka Slam final. They're all great with him. He's a highlight reel. But if you're trying to get into tennis, but that match is definitely one that you could watch. Not so much the rematch. Lerner Tien won 6-4, 6-love, 6-3. Complete dominance on Margaret Court for Lerner. And I'm really impressed by this American. Now, Lerner Tien, I don't know if he's still a teenager. He's definitely young, the American. He is 20 years old, so yeah, just missed the cutoff to be put in the same category as the teenagers. And Ben Shelton is 23. Major quit. I want to see this too because I believe he's really, really good in the majors, and he's been really, really good in this one. Yeah, okay, I'm correct, I think. But anyways, back to the point. Lerner Tien, really good young American player, and honestly, yeah, all the younger Americans are really good. He plays Zverev in a few minutes, and like I said, I think this match could be good. It's just hard for me to side with Lerner, knowing Zverev's experience, and I think that Zverev's draw gives him a really, really good chance of winning his first Slam this year. Now, obviously, there's levels to this. There's Carlos and Yannick, then there's Zverev, then there's everyone else. Well, I don't even say Zverev to Djokovic. Then there's everyone else. But Zverev is such a talented player. Now, person, no. Player, yes. He has some interesting personal history that could or could not be true. Hasn't been proven, but it's weird stuff. But he's a really talented player. Just never crossed over the threshold to be a Grand Slam champion. And he placed the winner of Alcaraz de Minaur. And while de Minaur has never beat Alcaraz, with the way he's playing this year and it being at his home slam, I would not be surprised. This is Alcaraz's worst slam historically. Alcaraz does have motivation to win this year, though. If he wins this year, he'll be the second youngest or youngest tennis player to ever complete the career slam, which is winning all 4 Grand Slams. He's won the French, I think, back-to-back times. He won Wimbledon before Yannick last year, and then he won the U.S. Open, I want to say 2023. He definitely did. I just have to make sure, when did Carlitos win the Open? But again, I know I've been yapping for 8 minutes. I don't think I said one prediction yet. So to get to it, well, I think Zverev will be extra motivated to cross that line this year. And while I think he beat 20. Oh wow, I messed that up. Carlitos won the U.S. Open last year. I could have sworn. Oh, I could have sworn it was Yannick. Oh yeah, because that's how it was the world number 1. Yeah, 4 sets because that time was on me. But yeah, because last year it went. I really need to get a new wire. But last year it went. Carlos. It went Yannick, Carlos, Yannick, Carlos for the men, and then the woman is much more crazy. It went. Let's see. Can't remember. Keys, Golf, Swiatek, Sabby. Yes. That is it. Sabby's obviously gonna win this one. She's the first semifinalist. It's the easiest prediction. But yeah, Carlitos trying to complete the career slam, so he might have an edge in that matchup. But I think Zverev will beat Tien in 4 to 5 sets. I think Tien has the talent to take it the distance, but I just don't think that he's going to beat Zverev, because I think Zverev should be and will be more motivated in this matchup. All right, moving on to the women's side for the next matchup, we have Coco Gauff versus 3-seeded Coco Gauff versus 12-seeded Svetonia, and I want to see their player matches for this. I want to see the history here just to make sure I'm making an accurate prediction, because I obviously there is an obvious prediction, but I feel like Svetonia might edge out Golf on hard court. And if we look at the head-to-head, it is 2-1 to Coco. And it is 2-1 on hard. So, yeah, I am going to side with what I would say is the obvious pick in Coco Golf. And just go with that. Other than that, I just don't think I can side with Svetonia. She's never won a slam. She doesn't have as much, um, like quarterfinal experience. I guess I would say. Golf obviously winning, um, the French last year, and I think she won, the States before that. So she has a lot of experience in pressure situations, and I think she will win this match. Back over to the men's. I'm trying to go a little bit faster now because I want to get this one out, but at least a little like during the first set of Zverev versus Tien, which is about to take court. They're warming up right now. Yeah. So the last matchup that is happening today, I'd say today because it's going to be at like 5 a.m. But it is what it is. It's over there. It's not going to be 5 a.m. over there. Let's see, 16, so 5, 12, 5 p.m. 4. Yeah, it'll be at like 10 p.m., 8 p.m. like primetime tennis. Carlitos, Alex de Minaur. I think de Minaur will get on the board early, winning the first or second set, exploding the crowd, surging him with momentum. But I think Carlitos will outpower and outmatch him. Give me Carlitos in 4. I would not be super shocked if de Minaur wins, but I think Carlitos will be more motivated to win this one. Even though de Minaur is playing in front of his home hand, so I won't be super shocked. But my official prediction: Carlitos in 4. The other two men's matches: Ben Shelton, Yannick Sinner. Yannick Sinner in 3. Shelton's a great player. He beat Rudd in 4, though. If he beat Rudd in 3, I'd give him a set here. But I think Sinner's just too good. I think Ben Shelton's going to keep doing this thing where he'll win other tournaments. He won a Masters event last year, but he'll win the lower tournaments, but he'll run into the roadblock when having to face one of the top players. And I think there will be 1 or 2 times in this coming few years where he gets past Yannick and Carlos in one of these and makes a final or semifinal. I think he'll make a slam final in the next 2 years. I just don't know if he'll win it. And so it could be today, but it could be, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the other men's quarterfinal, Musetti Djokovic. Djokovic got a free pass to the quarterfinal after his opponent Jakub Mensik withdrew from the 4th round of the tournament. Musetti dominated Taylor Fritz, an impressive showing for Musetti, who's playing on his worst court. So I'm going to take Musetti. Djokovic is way too rested, and that definitely is a factor. Musetti's been picking up momentum all week, proving he can play on any court, and he's just been too impressive for me to bet against, especially Djokovic at his old age. So I think this semifinals will be Alcaraz versus Zverev and Sinner versus Musetti. And then I think we'll get a Zverev Sinner final or an Alcaraz Sinner final. Zverev versus Alcaraz will be a really, really good match. They played before. Alcaraz won before. But, I'm trying to convince myself it won't be Sinner Alcaraz. But that's the most obvious path from here. It's so hard. It gets onto it. And Sinner and Alcaraz always put on a show. They do. Because they're so close in skill level. But it's just like when you want to change things up, it's hard to root for that. Now over to the women's side, we already predicted Golf Sotonia. The other 2 quarterfinal matches for the women, because as I said, one already happened. Jessie Pegula, who beat Madison Keys, and now Madison Keys has to eat a slice of apple pie with cheese on it on their next podcast because they had a friendly wager there. Jessie Pegula grew up rich, is the daughter, sorry, I almost said son, of Bill's owner, and so her thing was she'd have to wear a Travis Kelce Taylor Swift themed jersey, and she was not about that. And I don't know why Madison Keys would make it so intense. Make it the slice of pie, because the slice of pie doesn't hold anything personal against Keys, but a Chiefs jersey would for Jessie, and so she powered through Keys there, and she'll face Amanda Anisimova, the best backhand in the WTA Tour, clearly out in front, and it's another All-American matchup, which is so rough because it's like, who do I root for? I'll be rooting for Jessie. I like Jessie more than I like Amanda. I still think what Amanda did, where she took a 9-month break from tour for mental health and just came back and made 2 straight slam finals, is extremely impressive. But I like Jessie better as a player, and I have a Jessie auto. So I'm going to take her to win this match, but I'm going to say it goes to recess just because they're both so talented. And the last quarterfinal, oh my god, Rabakina versus Swiatek. If you look at the odds on this, I'm pretty sure Rybakina is the favorite, which surprised me at first until I did a little research and learned how good she really is. I know she's one of the best, but she's been super, super good. I'm pretty sure she won the WTA final. I am still going to take Swiatek because I've seen her win a slam before. I haven't seen Rybakina win a slam before. Maybe she has, and it was a while ago. So let me look. I'm going to take Swiatek in 3. I mean, these matchups, they just get so much better as we near the end of the tournament. And I'm really excited for these quarterfinals. And then just a quick, she did win 2022 Wimbledon. Okay, so she's been there, done that. So, yeah, it'll be a really good match. But I'm still going to side with my girl, Iga. But lastly, some shout-outs to give. Vicky Mboko, 17-seeded Canadian teenager, all the way to the 4th round against Arna Sabalenka, and she took her to a tiebreak at one point in the 2nd set. Really impressive from a double breakdown. She won a Masters event last year, upsetting, I think, 3 or 4 top women on tour. At the time, she was 320th in the world. That was... Oh, can't figure this one out. All right. I want to say that was Toronto, and I believe it was. Actually, yeah, let's check because it was either Toronto or Cincinnati. It was one of those two because they play back to back. And now I just want to know Cincinnati. No, she. Oh yeah, because she pulled out of Cincinnati because she beat Osaka in the final in Toronto. She beat Rybakina on that run, top 10 player at the time. She beat Buzes Monero on that run. She beat Coco, who was the 1 seed at the tournament. She beat Sophie Keenan. She beat Kim Burrell. She beat Bushkova. So a few good wins on that resume. Bushkova, Coco, Rybakina, and Osaka. The highlights of that tournament, and she even played the doubles in that tournament, and she withdrew from Cincinnati. So her and Shelton shared that as first-time major winners. So a huge shout out to her and her performance here. Same for Iva Jovic, who had to play Savvy in the quarterfinals. The future of tennis is in good hands here in the North America. Shout out Shelton, who achieved his 4th or 5th straight major quarterfinal and we'll see on court. Shout out Fritz Musetti for being Fritz. Bublik did way better than I thought, making the 4th round. And then one last shout out to the American phenom, Michael Zhang. He won his first round match in 5, or actually, it's not the last shot. I have one more. He won his first round match in 5 sets, and won about like 300K or something like that. But he can't keep it because he still has a few psychology courses to take at Stanford, and he doesn't want to drop out and become pro just yet, so he doesn't get the money. But still, he etches his name upon one of the greatest tennis stories in history. I'm not putting that back in because we're in the last minute. Shout out to, of course, Elliot Spizzeri, the American who took Yannick Sinner the distance. He didn't actually get to 5 sets. He got it to 4 because Yannick got bailed out by some more BS rules. I'm kidding. It's not BS. Obviously, protect the ball kids. Novak Djokovic should have been disqualified. That was ridiculous. Musetti did the same thing to Tiafoe last year in Roland Garros, and they get disqualified in the quarterfinal. Tiafoe should have been in the semifinals of Roland Garros, and I stand by that take so much. It was the most BS thing ever. You can't hit the ball kid. It's illegal. I don't know how they let it slide then. Novak got this close to getting disqualified, and the umpire even said it. So they gotta stop doing this stuff, man. The ball kids are fainting out here due to the heat. It's ridiculous. This has gotten off topic. And of course, one last shout out to my boy Francis Tiafoe. You may have lost in the 3rd round, but we still love you here in America, and we know you're going to be back at the French and defend those quarterfinal points, because if you lose those quarterfinal points, then you're not going to be seated at Wimbledon. If you're not seated at Wimbledon, you're going out in the 1st round. So thank you for watching this 20 minutes. Wow. That was a long one, but I guess when you get onto a rant about something, I know it took me 10 minutes to make my first prediction. So shout out to everyone who watched this whole video. And I just got to make a quick thumbnail so I can get this uploaded in time. It's not going to be the best, but we'll see what I can cook.